If you've watched even half a dozen of my videos or my shorts over time, you'll know that I'm a massive watch fan and that I have a collection of watches that I have always enjoyed adding to and which really give me a great deal of satisfaction and enjoyment. They are probably, along with half a dozen really nice pens, my watches are something that I really enjoy and value, and I'm excited to be connected with and to be an owner of. This particular watch is a Nixon 5130. It's a large watch. It was given to me as a present by my brother in 2009, so I've had it for going on 14 years. It's a super watch and I absolutely love it. It's a strong, robust, large watch, but on the back of the case, and I'll show you another image, is one very significant word. The word is simplify. And what I want to talk about today, and the reason I'm wearing this watch for this particular video, is because the idea of simplifying our life has an enormous advantage. It brings enormous benefit to us as people who are developing and exploring and enjoying this thing called frugal living. What I think is hugely important is to get clear with yourself and with your family members on what the advantages are for you of simplifying your lifestyle. That doesn't mean moving from a steady income and a good income into reducing your income or letting go of your job or throwing things away that are inappropriate to let go of. No, simplifying your life comes down to deciding what sort of lifestyle you want, the advantages and the benefits that brings to you, the financial returns that can be made greater by simplifying aspects of your lifestyle, and looking at the positive choices you can bring into your life by making thoughtful decisions about spending, saving, investing activity. One of the biggest things you have to decide early on in this journey about frugal living and toward a more thoughtful way of spending your money is cutting out unnecessary expenses. Do you need 2 cars? Do you need to have 3 unused bedrooms in your house when there's only a couple of you living in the property? I'm not suggesting that you have to downsize to enjoy frugal living, but when you naturally, through the cycle of life, think about changing your property or moving home, and you can move or you can make use of a smaller property with less belongings in it so that you have more money freed up, but you also have less stress, less worry, you're paying less insurance on things that you don't have anymore, and you find you're more flexible in being able to make quick decisions about things you want to do, opportunities you can take advantage of, because you're not tied down to the amount of possessions and belongings that are filling much of your home administration with paperwork, with insurance, with the things that need to be done for life to function. When you really look at wanting to simplify your life, it means having less and having more opportunity and more ability to do the things you want to do and not be held back by commitments to your belongings, commitments to a physical property or a space that you live in. At the most negative end of the spectrum, we have our home, and it's a source of clutter and frustration and worry and domestic bills for things that we can't even remember why we bought them sometimes, but they're part of the space that we have bought or we've rented, and we've filled that space with those items which are costing us in terms of time and energy and money and worry. At the other end is literally the rucksack lifestyle or the digital nomad lifestyle, where you can pick up your bag, jump on a plane and go to a different place to work or to live or to take early retirement. I'm not talking about that extreme where you have to move from the house or the home that you've got right now to living in a camper van or moving to a hostel with a rucksack. No, something that is a little bit more in this direction, a reduction in your costs, the consideration that when you next come to move, can I live just as well with less physical belongings and less clutter around me? Can we live in a smaller space that is as functional as the house or the home we have at the moment, but where we get more done with less belongings, less clutter, less furniture, less need to spend money on things to impress anybody that isn't part of our immediate family, because we're just doing this for ourselves? I'm sort of joking when I say, do you need 4 different types of bread knife in the top drawer of your kitchen? But when you're looking at moving from a lot of clutter, a lot of distraction from the best possible quality of life that you can have for yourself and for your family, and you move that to something that is simpler, less cluttered, more tranquil, then you need to go around your house and think, do I need this? Can I cope without that thing? What about if I gave this away? What about if I sold this thing and put money in the bank? Remember that the idea of choosing to simplify means to reduce the distraction and lead a life that is more fulfilling, more rewarding, but also allows you to be more who you are and a lot less about who you have to be to pay the bills and who you have to give your diary to in order to have money come in so that you can survive at a level that is still sometimes difficult. If you can run your home for less money, if you can cut your costs and lift the amount of money that you're saving and investing, putting away all the time, you will be in such a better place. If your income only stays the same for the next 12 months, but you can reduce your expenses by 10 or 15 or 20%, then the correlation is that your savings have gone up by that exact same amount that you've reduced your costs by on this side. Choose to simplify. With the savings you make, you build that $1,000 or £1,000 emergency fund. Soon as you've done that, you build a buffer of between 1 and 3 months worth of savings held in a separate account to your normal day-to-day expenses, so you're not remotely tempted to touch them or interact with them or to take money out. But you build up that 3-month buffer, and then you find yourself regularly investing, regularly saving and putting money aside. Today, for example, I received a dividend income on a stock that I bought a year ago. It's the 4th time I've been paid in a year on that particular stock. But I've got 25 different stocks, and every month some of those stocks generate a payout. With our frugality perspective, what we do is reinvest it in more stocks, so that generates more ongoing dividend income. What can you do by freeing up £4 or £5 or £10,000 over this next 12 months and use that money for building the emergency fund? Choose to simplify and see your savings grow to a point where you are then free to invest cash in stocks that will generate regular dividends and give you more choice, more opportunity. Now you can say, what do we want to do? What do we want to bring into a life that feels right and important and that will bring us great joy and satisfaction as we work to simplify? But the biggest thing, the most important thing that you will find that comes to you as a result of making this decision to simplify is you get control of your time. You get to say no to a work opportunity that is just not that attractive when you take into account the time you'll have to take away from friends or from family, to be away from your home life, to extended hours of work in exchange for money that, whilst being useful, is not necessarily as important as what you need because you've built your own savings buffer. And you can start to say yes to opportunities that are aligned with your values. You can start to say yes to some low-cost travel, to go and see a friend you haven't seen for ages, or to support somebody within your family because they have a need for some college fees or for some travel, and you can help them because you've built the buffer, you've built your savings, you've started to see regular investment, and you're in control of what you want to do with the resources that you have. Simplify your lifestyle, see the power and the benefit that will come from enhanced savings, less stress, less worry about the possessions that you do have, and less expense associated with filling your house with things that are not needed. Go ahead and simplify.